is no longer just a fantasy, it's turning into a real, actual plan. First stop, the moon. NASA's Artemis program is on a mission to put humans back on the moon by the 2030. One of the most exciting aspects of this effort is the exploration of 3D printing habitats using lunar soil, a technology that could significantly reduce the cost and complexity of building structures on the moon. Researches in this area is already underway with companies like Icon and universities such as the University of Colorado. And did you know that China and Russia are teaming up to create a new international lunar research station? In addition to NASA's effort, China and Russia have initiated the International Lunar Research Station, a joint project aimed at building a permanent lunar base for scientific research. Also, some bold thinkers like MIT are invoicing the Moon Village concept. So now let's talk about Mars. It's a bit further down the road. NASA's Perseverance rover is busy gathering data and exploring the Martian surface, getting everything ready for the big day. SpaceX is developing its super cool spacecraft Starship, aiming to get astronauts to Mars. But let's be real, colonizing Mars is a whole different ball game. It's far, it's cold, and getting there is no easy feat. Plus, there are some big questions to answer, like how to survive in an environment that hates us. I mean, no air, freezing cold, and dust storms that could ruin your day. Experts are still skeptical about building a self-sustaining colony without a lot of Earth's backup. And don't get me started on space resources. It's a bit like everyone fighting over the last piece of cake. So for those of you curious about the latest Mars missions, including the incredible work of NASA's Perseverance rover and advancements in reusable spacecraft, you can read more about in Vijay Erol and Yunus Erol twin brothers article on Mars on Earth project. I will be share the links on our WhatsApp group. So what does all mean? Space colonization is no longer just something we talk about in movies. We are actually planning for it, and we have got big ideas, big teams, and big tech to get us there. But there is still a lot of work to do before we can pack up our bags to Mars. Now that we had our fun with space dreams and lunar villages, it's time to bring things back down on Earth. Literally. And unfortunately for the dreamers, this next part is all about the legal side of space colonization. So let's start on our legal dive into legal frameworks, current gaps. So love usually chases after technology, but this time I decided to let love take the first step. After all, we are exploring tomorrow, whether on Mars or in the moon. Someone has to make sure even AI and digital twins don't forget the legal framework. These are the possible scenarios and forecasts for our near future. Instead of waiting for technology to surprise us, I figured love should surprise technology for a chance. In the context of colonization, I refer to the exploration of the moon or other celestial bodies as outlined in the Outer Space Treaty 1967. Specifically, the treaty emphasizes that the exploration and use of outer space should be directed for the benefit of all countries, regardless of their level of economic or scientific development. It is clear from the treaty's provision, particularly Article 2, that outer space, including the moon and other celestial bodies, cannot be subjected to national appropriation, whether by claims or sovereignty, use, occupation, or any other means. Therefore, term of colonization in this context must be understood not in the traditional sense of territorial conquest or dominance, but rather as a concept of scientific exploration and sustainable habitation. This approach aligns with the initiation of the entered into force 1984 agreement governing the activities of states on the moon and other celestial bodies in moon agreements. In short, Article 9. Legally, the Outer Space Treaty from 1967 remains the foundational document preventing national sovereignty claims and assigning responsibilities to states for their space activities. However, the question of how settlements on Mars or Moon will be governed is still an open issue. This treaty doesn't fully address the increasing role of private companies, resources extraction rights, or how space colonies should be governed, especially in the terms of data and digital technology. Future legal frameworks may need to address how to establish peaceful and cooperative settlements possible through international treaties or agreements. Next, let's focus on digital twins in space. That's right, we are sending virtual colonies, rockets, satellites, and maybe even space station into orbit because why should astronauts have all the fun? One of the most transformative technology for colonization is the use of digital twins, virtual model that simulate everything from environmental conditions to life support system. These tools help manage the construction and daily operation of colonies remotely, for example. So personal digital twins that mirror individuals' colonist health, psychological state, and social interactions will be used to optimize well-being. But this raises serious privacy and ethical questions. If you want to dive deeper into the concept of digital twins and how they are shaping the future, I've got something for you. You can explore this future in my published book. I can send the links to our WhatsApp group. So, personal data and privacy concerns. Currently, terrestrial data protection laws like GDPR offer strong privacy safeguards on Earth. However, their scope of planet is unclear. International space law mainly covers environmental and remote sensing data, leaving personal data protection in space a significant legal gray zone. We urgently need new frameworks to address ownership, consent, and ethical use of personal data in extraterrestrial environments. Singularity scenario. Looking future ahead, digital twins might evolve into super intelligent AI with autonomy beyond human control. This could lead to loss of personal agency, ownership, conflicts over data, privacy risks, and social power shifts. Possible end of human-centric governance. We must consider these possibilities now before they become realities. Cybersecurity challenges. We already see terrestrial laws imposing heavy penalties for data breach, yet in space enforcing this protection is far more complex. The cross-jurisdictional nature of space activities demands international cooperation to establish cybersecurity rules that protect personal data and prevent misuse beyond Earth. So if we conclude recommendation, in conclusion, while space colonization holds great promise, it also exposes critical gaps in law, ethics, and cybersecurity. To ensure a safe, ethical future, we must develop dedicated space data protection law, adopt the extend Earth's privacy law to space context, regulate AI and digital twins with transparency and accountability, foster international cybersecurity cooperation, incorporate personal data protection explicitly into future space treaties. So, balancing innovation with rights protection will be essential as we embark on this extraordinary journey. Collaboration and foresight will help us create a space-faring future that respects human dignity and privacy. As we explore the infinite wonders of space, let us remember that the true progress begins here on Earth, with peace, unity, and cooperation among all nations. Instead of turning our energy toward conflict and division, humanity must come together to build, create, and dream. Because who knows, one day, when finally meet life from beyond our planet, we may realize that our greatest strength has always been in our ability to live in harmony as a human family. Thank you for your attention. I'm happy to take any questions or hear your thoughts. Please write your questions to our WhatsApp group and let's discuss. So this was our World Space Week webinar. Thank you for joining us.